Hey all, welcome to Homeschool and welcome back to second part on the chapter Matter in Our Surroundings, Class 9 CBSE or NCERT syllabus, isn't it? And in our first part, we have discussed about the introduction to matter, how matter was classified, and the physical nature of matter we got to know. So if you can recall that, what are the two main important physical properties of matter? First one, matter is made up of so-called particles. Many particles are there in matter, whatever may be the matter, solid, liquid or gas, whatever. And the second important property was the size of these particles are very small, so small that it is beyond our imagination, isn't it? So those were the two properties of matter. And in today's video, I will be talking about the characteristics of matter. So very important concept, characteristics of matter. You know what, there are mainly three characteristics of matter. One by one, let us try to understand what they are. Say the first and foremost, let me tell you this characteristic. Particles of matter have spaces between them. Okay, so what is the first characteristic? There are spaces between the particles of matter. So what do you mean by this particular point? See, in our previous video, we have conducted very small experiments, basic experiments, right? And I told in one of my experiment that when you add, say for example, you took a beaker of water, right? Say these are your water particles. So these lines are called as water particles. And the moment you added a pinch of salt, this was a salt, very little amount of salt, when you added, the every bit of salt dissolved in water. When do you say that it has dissolved in water? What did I tell you in my previous video? I told you that the salt particles went and settled in the spaces that are present between the water molecule. See this line, this is one water molecule, this is second water molecule, this is third water molecule, fourth one and fifth one. And you have certain spaces between them. So whatever the salt particles you added, they went in between the spaces and there they have settled, isn't it? Say, this proves that there are some spaces between the particles. Okay, if you have not watched my previous video, link is provided in the description. You can go and watch. We did this experiment, isn't it? Okay, so this is what proves that there are enough spaces between the particles of matter. You must be wondering, okay, this is a liquid, so you have spaces between the particles, that's okay. But what about the solid? Say this is a matter. Do you accept if I say that, yes, this is made up of so many particles? Okay, accepted. And the particles are very small? Okay, accepted. And where are the spaces between these small particles? Can you see from your naked eye? No. Spaces are there even in this particular matter. There are so many particles, there are spaces, but you can't see that with your eyes. Okay, and here in the solid, the spaces are very less that you can neglect those spaces. Okay, in liquid, the spaces are quite high between each particle and another particle. But if you take a gas, okay, if this is one particle, this is another particle of a gas, you see the spaces are large. Okay, so in gases you have large spaces between the particles, liquid spaces are little, but in solids very little that you can neglect it. But remember that whatever may be the matter, it is made up of many particles, and between the particles you definitely have these spaces. Okay, so this is one of the important characteristic of matter. So what is the property? There are spaces between the particles of matter, right? Okay, so now let me go for the second property. They say that particles of matter are continuously moving. Particles of matter are continuously moving, right? Yes, this is true, guys. Say you took water. Okay, let me take, this is a beaker of water. Okay, water is there in this beaker, and you know what, this is one particle of water, this is another particle, this is third particle, this is fourth particle, like that millions of particles of water are there. And you know, these particles doesn't stay here. This particle can move here, it can move here, it can come here, it can go here, right? So these particles, they continuously move. That you cannot see with your eyes, but they keep moving, right? So this is what the second property or second characteristic of matter. Okay, so the particles of matter are continuously moving. Okay, one small experiment I can show on this. You can see these two solutions, guys, and this is, you know, dark orange colored solution, and this is a pure water I took actually. Okay, and you know what, the moment I add this dark orange solution into this pure water, I will not stir it, I will not shake it. Okay, but still, after few seconds, you will find the entire solution orange. What can you understand by this? Let's see first. See, I'm pouring little of orange solution exactly at the center. I'll not shake it, I'll not shake it, I'll not stir it. You see, the orange, whichever I poured at the center, see the orange color, I'm pouring at the center, right? But the entire solution has become orange. That means this orange solution, whichever I poured, has continuously moved and it got spread all around the solution, all around the water. Isn't it? That is what the meaning, no? See, I didn't shake it, I didn't stir it, nothing. But the moment you pour this one drop is enough. One drop is enough. You know, within few seconds, that one drop will spread throughout this water uniformly, continuously, isn't it? So it means that this is a proof that particles of matter will not remain in one place. They keep moving all over the solution. Okay, they keep moving all over the area, right? So this is what we mean by particles of matter are continuously moving. Clear? Okay, and now, okay, I said, okay, particles continuously move, they won't stay in one place, they keep moving all over, right? And that moving energy, say to move, they should have some energy, and that energy, we will call it as kinetic energy. Okay, so what do I call the first important point under this? Moving energy. Moving energy of particles. Okay, with certain energy, particles move. Say if I'm moving means I must have some energy, right? Say like that, when particles are continuously moving, they should have some energy, and that energy, we will call it as moving energy. So moving energy of particles is called kinetic energy. Which energy? Kinetic energy. Yeah, okay. And one important point is, as temperature increases, kinetic energy increases. Ke, I'll write in a shortcut way. Ke means kinetic energy. Kinetic energy increases. Okay, if kinetic energy increases, particles move faster. Yes or no? Because of this, particles move faster. Imagine you are boiling water. Initially, you kept water on a stove. You know, water's particles keeps moving at every time. particles of water keeps moving, but you cannot see with your eyes. And the moment you keep that water on a stove, as you increase the flame, after few minutes, what would happen? The water would move. You will observe that with your naked eye. That moment you would observe with your naked eye, right? Say bubbles will get generated and the bubbles would float, the water particles would move. You can feel that, you can see that with your eyes, right? Say why the water particles movement has become faster? It is because you provided some heat energy, you provided some temperature. So as the temperature increases, what will happen? The particles will gain more energy. They will have more kinetic energy. When something has more kinetic energy, it can move faster, right? So that is what the meaning of this point. As temperature increases, kinetic energy increases and particles move faster, right? So this is very, very important point. Okay. And now one more definition comes here, that is diffusion. So what do you mean by diffusion? It's very simple. Just now you observe when dark orange solution, when I added to water, the particles got mixed up, right? The orange solution particles got mixed up with pure water particles. Did you do anything for the mixing up? You just added. You didn't stir it, you didn't shake it, nothing. It got mixed up on its own. It got mixed up on its own, isn't it? So this intermixing of particles of different matter on their own is called diffusion. Okay, so what is diffusion? Let me write its definition here. Intermixing of particles of different matter on their own is called diffusion. Okay, so this is called as diffusion. Very, very important definition. Okay, clear everyone? Diffusion is what? When particles of different matter, this is one matter, this is one matter, you leave them, they would mix on their own. If they mix on their own, this is called diffusion. Okay, clear? Fine. And one more thing is, diffusion depends on temperature. Okay, say I would write one more important point here. As temperature increases, T means what? Temperature. As temperature increases, your diffusion also increases. Diffusion increases. Okay, because when you provide heat energy, kinetic energy increases. No, see, this is one matter, this is one matter. Initially also they are coming and they are getting mixed up. But when you heat them, they would move much faster and they would intermix much faster, right? So this is what we mean by this point. As temperature increases, diffusion also increases. Okay, say for example, when you have a cold food and hot food, say you have a very nice food with a very nice flavor. Okay, when it was cold, do you feel that smell when you are far away? No, right? If you want to smell that food, you should go near to it and smell it. But when the food is hot, you get smell to a larger distance. Yes or no? Because the food is hot, temperature is more, diffusion is more, the food smell can reach to your nose even if you are far away, right? If your mother is cooking in a kitchen, you sit in a hall, when she was cooking, definitely you get that smell to a hall, right? But when the food is cool, if you want to smell the food, you should go near to the food. You should go to that bowl and then smell it. But when the food is in hot condition, definitely you get its smell even when you sit in hall or wherever it is, right? So that means diffusion, that smell, that the contents of the food is getting diffused. They are getting spread. Okay, so fast when it is in hot condition, because as temperature increases, our diffusion process also increases. Okay, so this is all about the second characteristic you need to remember. So particles of matter are continuously moving. Now let us discuss about the third characteristic. Third one, much important one, observe here, particles of matter attract each other. Okay, you will have an attraction between the particles of matter. That's what the meaning here. Particles of matter attract each other. Okay, what do you mean by this sentence? You know what? When you pour some amount of water in a beaker, it is staying in a beaker. Say this is one molecule, this is another molecule, third molecule, fourth molecule. All of them are staying in a beaker. They are not going away. Yes, they are moving from here to here, here to there, everywhere. They randomly move, but they are not going out of the beaker. They are there inside the beaker. Say how this molecule is staying with this molecule. It's because there must be some attraction between them. Definitely. Say for example, you will go to a classroom and where do you sit? Definitely you will go towards your friends and you will sit with them. Why do you go to your friends and you sit with them? It's because you have an attraction between your friends. The attraction is named as friendship, right? Here friendship is the attraction you have between you and your friend. That's why you're going to your friend and you're sitting them. If you don't have that attraction, do you sit with them? No, right? You would go far away, right? So here also the same concept. In a particular matter, if the particles are staying together means that there is an attraction between each and every particle, right? It may be a solid. In case of solid, attraction is greater. In case of liquids, attraction decreases little, but in gases, attraction is very, very less. Okay, so definitely whatever may be the matter, solid, liquid or gas, made up of particles, and particles are staying together means they have a certain level of attraction. And there are different types of attraction. Depending on the matter, you have different types of attractions. All of them you will discuss in higher classes. But do understand that between every particles of matter, between them you have a force of attraction. That's the reason they stay together. Okay, say for example, you have a tap. Okay, so you have a tap and water falling from tap. Okay, so this is a water falling from tap. If you keep a finger here, right, say can you break the water? Can you all able to break the water when you keep a finger through running water? No, right? No. Why? It's all because the water molecules have attraction between them. They have attraction between them. You can't break the water. You can't break the water. It's because there is a strong attraction between one molecule of water with another molecule of water. Right? So this is your third characteristic. Right? So three characteristics we studied. The first one is there are spaces between the particles of matter. Second one is, particles of matter are continuously moving, and you studied something called diffusion and how temperature depends, how diffusion depends on temperature, all about kinetic energy, everything you studied, right? And finally, the third characteristic, there is an attraction between the particles of matter. So all the three characteristics are very, very important. Whether it may be a solid, liquid or gas, you find all the three characteristics in matter. Clear? So now guys, try to answer this question from your book. That is, a smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away. But to get the smell from cold food, you have to go close. Why? The example that I told you, right? So here the hot food, the temperature is more. So the diffusion is more, right? So the food particles who travel with much higher kinetic energy, right? So the sooner it reaches to your nose and so you could smell it, right? So what is the answer here? As the hot foods temperature is higher, what happens? Kinetic energy of particles increases. As the kinetic energy increases, diffusion increases, right? See, the process of diffusion increases and quickly you can sense the smell of that hot food. Whereas when the food is cold, there is no much temperature, no kinetic energy, so definitely that particular smell will not reach to you. If you want to smell it, you must go near to the food, right? So this is all about the question. And with this, I complete the session. And in the next class, we will come up with states of matter. We will study about the three states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases, and what are the difference between them and their properties and etc. So till then, revise, take care, and see you in the next session.